You're watching the 10th installment of Nutty Nerd TV. I'm Greg Brown. In this episode, I'm going to show you how you can travel back in time. But first, I wanted to make a quick announcement that you can now subscribe to my podcast by simply going out to the iTunes store within iTunes and then doing a search for Nutty Nerd TV. And then from there, you'll see my podcast. You can subscribe to it and you can download all the individual episodes to your computer, iPad, iPod, iPhone, whatever. And you can watch the videos offline whenever you want. So I really encourage you to do that. It'd be a great support, and I just wanted to thank you for watching. So anyway, traveling back in time, it's really easy to do, especially if you have a Macintosh computer. It actually has the functionality built into it through a program called Time Machine. And what Time Machine does is it backs up your files and your data just automatically. It's very easy to set up, and what I wanted to do in this episode is just kind of walk you through how you can get Time Machine going on your computer so that you're backing up all your data. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. The first step in preparing your computer for backups is to identify a location on your computer of where you want those backups to go. And one thing that's really important to know is that you do not, under any circumstances, want to have a directory where your backups are backing up to be on the same hard drive as your original files. Let me kind of explain that. I'm going to open up this Macintosh hard drive here, and then you can see that I have this video called Nutty Nerd Video MP4. Well, let's say I created a directory called Backup, and I'm going to go ahead and make another backup of it. I'm going to replace that, and then it's going to copy. And then now I have two copies. I have this original file here, and then I have that original or that secondary backup copy here. Well, that's great. I have two copies just in case I accidentally throw this one in the trash. The problem is that if this hard drive were to crash, then not only did I lose that original file, but I also lost this backup file too. So this isn't going to work. Plus, Time Machine isn't going to allow you to configure itself to back up to its own hard drive. You're going to have an external drive. And in this case right here, I already identified one, and it's called Backup. I named it Backup as well. So anyway, what you want to do is you first want to go to Apple, System Preferences, and then you're going to see Time Machine. So we're going to go ahead and configure Time Machine right now. So I'm going to select that, and then it gives you the option to select a backup disk. Well, I already have a disk that I'm going to back up to. I've been using this one this whole time. So I'm going to go ahead and just select that, and then I'm going to say use for backup. And then you can see when I do that the icon changes. Now you know that this is your backup drive, and then how much disk space you have available. You're going to probably notice down here where this is kind of counting down. It's telling you in how many seconds it's going to start the next backup. I'm actually going to stop that right now because I want to show you some options here that I do that works for me. When you click options, you have the ability to exclude certain directories and hard drives that you do not want to have backed up. So in this case right here, obviously the backup drive doesn't back up itself. That is the backup drive. I have this scratch drive, and basically it's used for like any data that I'm working with that I don't necessarily need backed up. So I have that scratch drive, and then these other directories I don't want to have backed up. For instance, my trash directory, when I throw something in the trash, I don't need to have that backed up, so I exclude that. The downloads directory, by default on the Macintosh, when you download something from the internet, it's going to go down to this downloads directory. Well, I don't want that backed up either. What I do is I'll download something and then I'll put it on my computer wherever I want it, so I don't necessarily need to have the downloads directory backed up. And then I have like the movies for the kids, any music, a shared drive, and stuff like that. I don't back this up with Time Machine. I actually have another method in which I back those up. And you can see how much in gigabytes, we're talking a lot of data here, that I'm saving by not backing up data that I don't necessarily need to have backed up on a regular basis. So I'm going to go ahead and select Done there. And then it's going to tell you when the next backup is going to occur. And it's going to be at 11:45. So we're going to go ahead and let that run, and then once it's finished, we'll come back and I'll show you Time Machine. Time Machine completed its backup, and you can actually verify that by clicking on the Time Machine icon here in the menu bar, and you can see that it backed up at 11:51, and everything looks good. If there was any problems with Time Machine, you would actually see a little warning sign here, the little error indicator that something was wrong. but it looks like it backed up successfully. So what I want to do right now is I want to show you how you can use Time Machine to restore data. So it's really easy to do. So what I want to do is I want to go into my Nutty Nerd episodes, and then I'm going to go into episode 8, and then I'm going to go to video, and then I'm going to go to final here, and oops, where are my files? They're not here. I was expecting them to be here. Well, not a problem. What I can do is I can go into Time Machine and restore all these files. So there's two ways of doing it. You can click on this little icon here, or you can go back up to the icon that's in your menu bar and do Enter Time Machine. Either way, it's going to take you to the same place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, Enter Time Machine, and then it brings you into the Time Machine interface. So just to kind of walk you through here and what you're looking at, if you wanted to get out of Time Machine, you can just hit cancel down here on the left hand side. What we're looking at right here is the window that is the current, what it is right now. You can actually see that today, now. So this is what the computer actually sees that folder as. This right here, these little arrows actually can bring you back into time, if you will, right? Back to your backups. So you can click on that arrow and you can see that these are all my files. I can select those and restore them, and the timestamp of when this backup occurred was at 11:51 today, and I can actually go back a little further if I wanted to. I can go all the way back to December 28th and just keep going back. Well, what I want to do is I want to go all the way forward. I'm going to go ahead and just go all the way forward, and then I'm going to select the backup that happened at 11:51. On the right hand side here, you also have this. You can select which date you want to go to, and if I want to go back to the whenever that backup occurred, so on the 24th, I can select that and go all the way back then. And that was the first time that this directory was actually backed up. So I'm going to go back to today. I'm going to do now, and then I'm going to go back to 11:51, and then I want to select all these files. So I'm going to go ahead and select those, and then I'm just going to click on the little restore button. So it's going to take me out, and then it's probably going to prompt me for my password, and it is. So I'm going to click continue here, and then I'm going to click continue. Actually, I'm just going to do apply to all, and then click continue. All right, there you have it. All my files are restored just as they were an hour ago. So looks good. That's how Time Machine works. It's really easy to use, really easy to set up, and I really encourage you, if you haven't already, to go ahead and configure Time Machine on your Macintosh. I sure hope this information has been valuable for you. Until next time, we'll see you again on Nutty Nerd TV.